guys. I hope you're having a good day. We're going to look at our grammar for today, which is pages 274 and 275. So if you have a grammar book, open up to page 274. Let's look at exercise A. You are going to be underlining all of the prepositional phrases, and then we're going to look at them and figure out whether the prepositional phrase is being used as an adjective or as an adverb. So let's look at number 1. What prepositional phrases do you see? The grizzly bear ambled toward the den beneath the cliff. You should see 2. So underline toward the den and beneath the cliff. So underline both of those. Now we have to figure out what they are doing. What are they describing? Well, they're telling me where the grizzly bear ambled. So it's describing the verb and it's telling me where. So that would make both of them what? You said adverb? You are correct. Good. Number 2, what prepositional phrase do you see in number 2? Okay, I hope you underline between my soul and the Savior. What is it doing? Well, it's telling me where I want nothing, right? So if it's answering the question where, it would be adverb. Good. Number 3, read that one, and you should find 2 prepositional phrases. What do you find? You should have of alcoholic beverages and throughout the United States. Now let's see what they're doing. First of all, of alcoholic beverages. What is that describing? It's telling me what kind of sale, right? So it's describing a noun, so it'd be an adjective. Next, throughout the United States, what is that describing? That is telling me where it outlawed it, right? So it would be adverb. Good. Number 3, the 18th Amendment. We just did that one. Number 4, the mouse scooted across her foot and into the hole. What are the 2 prepositional phrases? You should have underlined across her foot and into the hole. Now, what kind are they? Well, they're both describing scooted, right? So I hope you put adverb. They're both describing the verb. Number 5, you should find 4 prepositional phrases in here. What are they? You should have into the path of the wicked, in the way of evil men. So you should have 4. Into the path is telling me what? Tell me where not to enter. So it's describing the verb, so adverb. Of the wicked is describing path, which makes it adjective. In the way is telling me where not to go, so it is an adverb. Of evil men is describing way, so it is an adjective. Number 6, you should find 2 prepositional phrases. What did you find? Around the world, which is describing believers, good, which is an adjective, and into communist countries, which is describing where they have smuggled. So it's describing the verb, so it would be adverb. Number 7, what prepositional phrases do you see? In the Bible, what is that telling me? It's telling me where, right? So it's describing the verb, so it is an adverb. And then of God is describing lamb, so it's an adjective. Number 8, the oak tree across the road is your first prepositional phrase. There are 2 more. Do you see them? Against Sean's house and during the thunderstorm. Good. Across the road is describing what? The tree, right? Which tree? The tree across the road. So adjective. What about against Sean's house and during this thunderstorm? Well, against Sean's house is telling me where it fell. During the thunderstorm is telling me when it fell. So those would both be adverb. Good. Number 9, what do you see? You should have of his pasture and of his hand. Good. Of his pasture is describing people, so it is an adjective. Of his hand is describing sheep, so it's also an adjective. Number 10, Christ stood before Pilate without saying a word. Do you see them? Before Pilate, and that's telling me what? Tell me where he stood. So it's an adverb, and without saying a word, that's telling me how he stood, so adverb again. Good. All right, exercise B. Now we're looking for infinitive phrases. So we're looking for 2 plus a verb. So you're going to underline the infinitive phrase, and then you're going to tell me whether it is adjective or whether it is adverb. Okay, so let's look at number 1. You're looking for 2 plus a verb. What do you see? What are you underlining? I hope you did to go to the planetarium. Now, what kind is it? What is it describing? Right? Tell me why the children were delighted, right? So it'd be an adverb. Number 2, what's your infinitive phrase? To visit for reference books on solar energy. What is it describing? Describing place, right? What kind of place? Which place? What kind? The kind where you would visit for reference books. So it would be Adjective. Good. Number 3, what do you have? If you said to buy for your boys, you are correct. What is it doing? It's describing shoes. Make it adjective. Good. Number 4, to meet Mr. and Mrs. Jackson, our missionaries to Zimbabwe. What is it describing? Right? Tell me why we were happy. So it is adverb. Good. And number 5, what is my infinitive? If you said to run their shops, you are correct. What is it doing? It's describing people, which would make it an adjective. Right? Exercise C, same thing. You're underlining the infinitive phrase, but this time they're throwing nouns in there. So you're going to tell me whether the infinitive is acting like a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. Okay? So let's look at number 1, to plus a verb. What's your infinitive phrase? Hopefully you underline to take John Mark on the second missionary journey. What is it doing? Noun, adjective, or adverb? Well, it's describing for me why he was reluctant, right? So it would be adverb. Number 2, what is my infinitive phrase? Hopefully you underline to learn more about our family tree. Now what is it doing? We desired what? To learn more. So it's answering who or what after the verb, so that would make it direct object. So it is a noun. Good. Number 3, what is my infinitive? To ask about the book of Revelation. What is it doing? It's describing one. It's describing the pronoun, so it is an adjective. Good. Number 4, to write 1 letter each day is my goal. It's functioning as the subject, therefore it is noun. Number 5, what is the infinitive? To check on her vacation plans. What is it doing? It's telling me why I should write to Grandma, right? So it's telling me why. Adverb. Good. All right, look at exercise D. Now, in this exercise, the phrases are already italicized for you. You just have to tell me what kind of phrase is it. Is it a participle phrase? Remember, participle is our verbal that acts like an adjective. It describes. A gerund is our verbal that is always a noun, always ends in ing. Or is it an infinitive phrase, to plus a verb, or is it a prepositional phrase? Does it start with a preposition? Okay, so let's look at these and see if you can get these correct. Number 1, signing by the deaf. Did you say gerund? You were right if you did. And then of communication, of is preposition, so that's preposition. Number 2, to pray and not to faint. To plus a verb, so that one is infinitive. Good. Number 3, after his conversion. After is a preposition, and then to follow Christ, to plus a verb, infinitive. Number 4, determining part of the Canadian-United States boundary. That phrase is describing treaty. So it's describing a noun, so it is adjective, right? And which ones are adjectives? Participles. Good. In 1842, in is a preposition, so that's preposition. Number 5, entering the Pullman car is describing Mark. Participle. Good. And then to handed to the conductor, to plus a verb, infinitive. Number 6, over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. Well, if you know what over, through, and to are, then you know those are all prepositional phrases. Good. Number 7, taking the name of the Lord in vain ends in ing and it's acting like the subject, so it would be gerund. Number 8, surprised by the raccoons, describing dog, ends in ed. So what did you put? I hope you put participle. Toward home. Toward is a preposition, so prepositional phrase. Number 9, praising all alike. It's functioning as a subject, so it would be, I hope you said gerund, is praising none. Praising none, following a linking verb, predicate nominative, so it would be gerund. Good. Number 10, since the beginning of January. Since, of, prepositions. The temperature has been below 0. Below, preposition again. Struggling through the brush, number 11, is describing the hunter, so it would be participle. Injured from a fall, also describing hunter, which would again be participle. Spotted a stick to use for a cane, to plus a verb, infinitive. Number 11, purchasing Alaska from the Russians. Now be careful. Notice that the for is not italicized. So 4 is my preposition. But what is purchasing Alaska from the Russians? Well, it's acting like my object of the preposition. Therefore, that would make it a gerund, right? Number 13, refreshed by an afternoon nap, describing woman. ending in ed, therefore it is participle. To sew some kitchen curtains. To plus a verb, infinitive. Good. Number 14, teach me to do thy will. To plus a verb, infinitive again. And number 15, crowing should be left to the roosters. Now, that's to, but does it have a verb with it? No. If it doesn't have a verb with it, it can't be an infinitive. To the roosters, it's just acting like a preposition. So it's a prepositional phrase. All right, then I want you to do exercise E, where you're going to be creative, come up with a sentence containing the kinds of phrases that are indicated there. And then once you finish that, you'll be done with the grammar for today, and then you can move on to the Cyrano video.